Hello my doves, what's up, welcome back to Afrodite by Olympia. My name's Olympia and I do videos here on YouTube about beauty and makeup available in Australia for deeper skin tones. If you're new here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe because your girl is bringing you her Fenty face. Okay, everything you see on my face here apart from the lashes and the brows are from Fenty Beauty. I have a filler, that's not the right word. I have a lot of some Fenty Beauty products here. I'm going to walk you through and basically give you my thoughts of, why I like them, why I don't like them, demo them all for you as well in this face right here, including the eye look. Yeah, so if this is something that you want to see or you're interested in seeing, I suggest you keep watching.
Drop that, yeah, feel the funk, y'all, yeah, feel the funk, y'all, yeah, lay back in the cut, what's up?
Okay, we're gonna start off with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer. So this retails for $46 AUD and it's available at Sephora. I believe Sephora.com.au is the only, or Sephora in store, are the only places that Fenty Beauty are actually available. I'm pretty sure in Australia it's a Fenty, like it's a Sephora exclusive, but they do have, you can get it off the website. You do have to pay in American dollars though, so bear that in mind. I don't remember anything bad about this primer. Does feel like a moisturizer. It does smell like it might have SPF in it, but I can't see anywhere it's saying that it does. While that sinks in, let's talk about the foundation. This is what started the whole Fenty Beauty freaks, because I'm a Fenty freak. I'll say yes, hashtag Fenty freak, because I am. I have a lot of Fenty stuff. Now, this foundation, yo, when I tell you the struggle was real to find my shade, because the foundation dries down darker, it does not oxidize, because oxidization takes hours, not minutes. Just remember that. Oxidization takes hours. The foundation dries down darker. Because it dries down darker, it was hard for me to pick my shade. I have 3 colors in front of me, but I've tried anywhere from 400 all the way through to 450. With the first launch, I set it on 430, I believe. But then they had their shade expansion, so they went from 50 shades and then they increased it to 60 shades. So I was like, okay, let me see what these new shades are. I got my hands on the shade 445, which has olive undertones. It's probably one thing that was missing in the whole Pro Filter foundation lineup. You had your golden, you had your red undertones, you had your neutrals. Like she had those 3 categories, but no real olive undertones, which is my category. Now, even though I love this shade, it is attached to dark for me and a little bit too olive. I'm a bit more of a mixture of gold and olive. So I like to mix 445 with 430, which is very golden, and that's how I do it. That's just it works the best for me. Before I mix these 2 foundations together and put them on, let's backtrack a little bit to the actual concealers. This concealers were released at the same time as the shade expansion, and I picked up 2 shades. I've got 445, which is actually a shade lighter than the foundation, and I've gotten away with using this as a foundation itself. And then I also got the shade 430, which is very brightening and illuminating. So with that in mind, I'm going to quickly use the 430 underneath my brows and the 445 on top and just clean up my brows, because I do brows before foundation. So if you do brows before foundation, let me know down below. I think it's a proper question. Hey, a lot of people are like, how do you do that? How come you don't do it after? And it's probably a little bit too orange to be using in this area, I must admit, but it's actually not that bad. Guys, my brows are so hit and miss. Anybody else have that problem? Like, just one day your brows are like, you're feeling it, and the other days you're like, it's poo-poo caca. Like, it's just... Now, we're gonna visit concealer and whatnot a little bit later. But for now, we're actually gonna do eyes first. I decided I was gonna do like skin first, like, you know, Fenty base, but there's a method to my madness, I promise. So we're gonna do eyes first instead. And I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Amplifying Eye Primer Base. Now, what is so stinking cute about this eye primer is that it looks like a miniature version of the face primer. Literally like it was a sample size or something. It's so stinking cute and I love it. So we're gonna pop this on my eyes. Now this goes on kind of white, but dries down pretty clear. Now I do prefer a primer that creates a clean canvas, kind of like the P. Louise Space or a concealer that's not been set, but this is pretty tacky. Feels like really sticky. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so I've got eyeshadow palettes from Fenty Beauty, the Moroccan Spice, which looks a little something like this. I don't know if I've used this on my channel. I'm pretty sure might have did a review. I reckon I did do a review and I didn't really give it a glowing review. I think it was just okay. The eyeshadow palette retails for 82 Australian dollars from Sephora. So that's actually quite expensive. I do have two Fenty eye brushes. I have Fenty Beauty's eyeshadow 2000 brush, and I also have the 210 blending brush. So I am gonna use these. I'm gonna color switch and try and do the whole look with these brushes only, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I'm gonna add the liner now. So moving on to Fenty's only eyeliner, but one of my absolute faves, is the Fenty Beauty Fly Liner in the shade Cause I'm Black. So this costs 30 Australian dollars and I like it. It's up there. It's so easy to use. It feels like it just goes on and on and on, not having to like re-dip. But I will say that I wish it was a bit more matte. It does come off a little bit shiny. If you don't mind that though, then go right ahead. But if you prefer like a proper matte liner, unfortunately this is not the one. But let's go ahead and line the lids. And as you guys can see, that was just from one dip. One dip. Have not dipped back in. Okay, I think this side's thicker than this side, like along the front here, but it's no big deal. It's not big deal, okay? And I'll just quickly throw on some lashes. Now I do go back in with my liner because I have wrinkly eyelashes. Sorry, wrinkly eyelids. I just have extra skin, so as you can see, it's not a sharp line anymore. I just pull it taut and just redraw that line. So if I think one area is like one size thicker than the other, I will even it out at this point. Okay, so let's continue. I've already placed my primer down. That was a while ago now though, like maybe even like 30 minutes ago. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. As I was saying earlier, before I totally backtracked. So this foundation, I've used two shades, 430 and 445. They are a really good like together. Some things about this foundation that you need to be aware of is that it is very matte. It's not a soft matte. I think it's a proper matte. You'll see when I apply it. 445 has olive undertones. 430 has golden, very golden undertones, almost orange. Yes, so we're gonna just mix these together. I'm going to do one side sponge and the other side the brush. I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty foundation brush. I like the foundation brush, I do. My only issue is that it's really, really hard to clean. I don't have this problem with any of my other brushes. For some reason, this brush is just ridiculous to clean. I don't know what that is. Guys, it is hot in this room. I just went out to dampen my beauty sponge, get rid of all the excess. Important step, guys. Do not want it to be soaking, you want it to be just damp. So with the beauty sponge, this is what it starts off with, dry. This is how big it gets when it's wet, just so you guys have a little bit of a comparison in terms of that. This is the Fenty Beauty beauty sponge, and this retails for $24 AUD. So that's actually pretty expensive for a sponge. I know the beauty blender one's like 30 bucks, so it's still cheaper than that, but it's pricey. I mean, I don't hate it. I have two of them. I do like the top, how it's flat. You can kind of really get in there when you're blending out your concealer and things like that. But let's go ahead, mix these up. Let's do the sponge first. So with the butt, I would say that this is a high medium coverage, and it does dry down really, really quickly. So I suggest you work in sections, and you can see how matte that is. So no foundation. As you can see, the color match is pretty spot on, if I don't say so myself. And just bear in mind, it is gonna get a tad darker. Okay, let's do the other side with a brush. Looks like, as you can see, does not leave any marks. This brush has never done that on me. It's already starting to look a little bit darker. You can see it. It was a little bit lighter before, so your girl is still working on her Fenty shade. It's not exact. It does annoy me that it does, you know, get that little bit darker. I after it dries down. I find that annoying. Concealer. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit, okay. So the Fenty concealers, they are called the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealer. I've got the shades 445 and 430, as I said earlier when I was fixing up my brows. Now, the thing about these concealers that you have to remember is that when Fenty release the shade names, they correspond to the shade that you are in their foundation. It is considered to be one shade lighter than your foundation, so they're not the exact shade colors as the foundation. So even though I've got the same concealer names as a foundation, they're not the same. They are lighter. So this one is very, very orange. It's very brightening. And this one is a little bit closer to my skin tone. So I'm actually going to use both of these kind of mixed together. I'm going to go in with this one first, which is the 445, and then I'm going to brighten with 430 because I feel like 430 is just a little bit too orange. I'll show you what I mean. So if you see how orange that is. Nah, son. Why do you keep calling me son? Because you shine like one. If you can tell me what movie that's from, you the real one, because it's not a very common quote, I don't think, but I say it all the time. Why do you keep calling me son? Because you shine like one. Now I'm going to do it one side at a time. I'm going to go in with that same, actually no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in with the concealer brush. And I'm just going to tap it in there. Tap, 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 tap. These concealers are more satin finish. They're not as matte as the foundation. As you can see, it's more glowy. See how there's a bit of a sheen there now? It's definitely not as brightening as I like. You've seen before. I'm gonna go in a bit more of that 430. And honestly, you wouldn't need to set this concealer. Like once it's dried down in place, and if it hasn't been blended out, too bad. It's not gonna budge. It will pick up the product that you have underneath. Like it will. There's no getting around it. A little bit on my forehead. I don't need a lot because my forehead is freaking tiny. Sorry if you can hear the fan. I'm so hot in this room, honestly. You can see where I have not blended it, like just here. But I'm gonna fix that. This brush is awesome though. I really like it for blending out concealer. I haven't used it with any other concealers, surprisingly enough. Just the Fenty Beauty one. I like how it's angled. And you can really get in there. It's a good brush. Like it's a good brush. I'm happy with it. Okay, next bit, guys, is powder. And your girl has a problem. I have an actual problem. So I have 3 Fenty Beauty powders. So I originally bought Hazelnut. This was the shade the website recommended for my complexion. Looks a little something like that. Like that. And then, who was I watching? I can't remember who it was. It was a dark skin beauty guru. I can't remember her name. I apologize. But she was suggesting honey was a really good under eye. Because I like to use colored powders for my under eye area. I hate using a translucent powder. I just no. I like to use a colored one. So this one's honey. I'll just compare it with hazelnut. So honey's just a little bit more yellow, which, you know, okay. And then another beauty guru, I'm terrible, suggested Cashew. So what did your girl do? The camera died on me. So yeah, this is Cashew. I'm not sure where I left off. So another beauty guru was like, try Cashew. So this is what Cashew looks like. I'm gonna hold all of them up. I would say Cashew, if you were to mix hazelnut and honey together, you would get Cashew. It's like a little bit more pink, but now I like to use a damp beauty sponge to put my powders on. So I'm going to do Cashew on one side and honey on the other, and then I'm going to do hazelnut everywhere else. So let's go first in. I like the color. I do like the color. I'm gonna go with the other side into honey. So that was Cashew. Cashew's on this side. And then honey. Yeah, it's way more brightening. I don't know, can you notice the difference? I feel like honey is a lot more brightening than Cashew, but I really like Cashew as well. Which one do you like better? I think I like Cashew better. What do you guys reckon? Okay, so this is my Fenty Beauty setting brush, and I just dust off any excess on my face. Okay, before we move any further, let's quickly now do the rest of my face. And I'm just gonna take hazelnut. And it's not a lot of powder, but by pressing it in as opposed to just dusting, it really does help the longevity of your makeup. Now I like the Fenty powder. I feel like it smells really, really good. Is it my holy grail? Not really. I still am stuck on Laura Mercier Translucent Deep. I love that. I use it under my eye, all over my face. Does not change the color of my foundation. It just adds a beautiful finish that I love. But the Fenty powder, listen, it's good. Like, it's not bad. It was sitting up on my top shelf for a while. I really, really like Cashew. I'm actually really, really surprised with how much I like Cashew. I mean, hazelnut, but honey is brightening for sure. Had I had a different concealer color though, I don't think I would have needed honey to brighten, but Cashew was giving me all the feels. I didn't feel like it was ashy at all. You let me know if you thought it looked wrong or weird. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with how it looks now, like where we are now. So I'm gonna finish off the under eye for you guys, and then we can move on to bronzer. Now the bronzer, my bronzer review and reaction is going to be filmed in a different video. First impressions demo of the Fenty bronzer, and I cannot wait. So if you haven't seen that video, I will link it in the cards for you here. So if you want to go see that, my reaction to the Fenty bronzer in Mocha Mami, I believe it's called, then yeah, go check that out. This is the Stalk'r Instant Warmth Bronzer in the shade Mocha Mami. The bronzer retails for 46 Australian dollars. It comes in 8 shades. This one is the deepest. I considered getting the one before it, which was the Cocoa Naughty, but it just looks too light. As you can tell, it does have quite red undertones, which if you've been to my channel before, you will know I live for a red undertone bronzer. This one is all matte. She is all matte, so there's no shimmer to it. Okay guys, so there is the bronzer. Oh guys, it's bronzer. It's everything. It's absolutely everything. Are we not living for my face right now? Alright, so I just did my bronzer review, all that good stuff. Let's move on to highlighter. Okay, I've got some, I'll show you the newest one, which is Penny For You Thoughts, which, that name is so funny. That's what it looks like there. Oh my god, how dare I? I forgot to show you guys my diamond bomb all over body veil. As you can see, I've used, this stuff is, I don't know how to describe it. It's just all over the lid. Is amazing. Like, it just gives such an amazing quality. I feel like tapping it on now. It just makes everything look like sparkly diamonds. I don't know how to describe it. I've got it all over my liner. I just, oh, is that not just beautiful? Like, glitter everywhere, but does that not just, it looks beautiful. Okay, let's put some highlighter on. I was gonna use Penny For You Thoughts. Looks a little like this. I'm gonna use the cheek hugging brush. I don't really use this often to do my highlighter these days, but I just want to show you guys what it do. Am I using it wrong? Maybe I'm not. It's a little bit underwhelming, isn't it, guys? Let me try a different brush. I've been using this Anastasia 15 brush quite a bit. I've been swirling in the product. And then just buffing. Well, that's a bit better. I think I just prefer this brush. And just buffing it onto the skin like so. I just think it looks so much better. Oh, I forgot to do the inner corner. This one here, I wanted to use Metal Moon. And just a little bit on the brow bone. See what I mean? How it's like not ashy. Okay, now the eyes are officially done. Lips. So let's do, yes, PMS. So it's a brown. I'm just gonna line my lips with it. One is uncuffed. And then in the center is unbuttoned. I think it needs to be a bit more brown. I'm gonna add Unveil to it. Okay, you guys, that's a lot of, that's a lot. Used four lip products there, but you get what I'm trying to do here. Just gonna wait for that to dry down. So yeah, guys, this is my Fenty face. As you can see, I love her. Oh, she's so pretty. Not me, the makeup. You know what I mean? I feel like the Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats, which tells me she's probably gonna release like more shades, because I live for these diamond bombs. You can use them all over the body and it just literally looks like sparkling diamonds on my eyes. Like, I absolutely live for it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The highlighters I love. The bronzer is absolutely gorgeous. Just stunning. I feel like it complements my complexion really well. As you can see, my foundation has settled down. It's a really good match. I'm happy with the match. I love that highlighter. I was a bit skeptical at first, but I just had to use the right brush. That cheek hugging highlighter brush, no, it is not for me, dog. She's not the one. Now, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Fenty Beauty product is. I would love to hear from you guys and how you use it. I might be using it all wrong. Might be, you know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you all dearly. Thank you so much for subscribing and sticking around and coming back. I much appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next video. Take care, my doves. Bye.